Hey everybody, it's John with Teays Bushlore. Today I have a piston fire starter that was handmade out of American walnut by a man named Jeff Thomas, a good friend of mine. And I got this from him. I'm going to try it out and see if we can get an ember lit with some char cloth and see how well it works and go through the process of it. So stay tuned. Birch is excellent tinder, and this is good and seasoned too. Using my Next Gen by LT Wright. Nice broomstick handle, just like the Genesis, only smaller. Full flat grind on this one. Small blade like that, flat grind works great. That's pretty good. Notice I'm getting into this bark and peeling it up. That bark on the birch, excellent fire tinder. That should be enough, but I'm just having too much fun with this little Next Gen. Now I'm going to see if I can find me a floor to put under that so I can move it to my fire area. Okay, this is the piston fire starter I was telling you about. Made out of walnut, nice and stained. Here's the valve on the bottom. Here's the piston and the handle, the plunger. Notice how it sucks itself back in there because this valve is shut. Now if I open this valve, it allows it to pull right out. And I'll show you here. There's a little rubber O-ring right there that Jeff made a groove for. It has to be lubricated. That's one thing, you know. I'm not a real big fan of piston fire starters, only because there's, I don't know, just too much going on for something that can be done with flint and steel. And flint and steel is pretty easy to work once you get it figured out. You can go down here to the river behind me and find some good chert or quartz, you know, laying around the creeks and hillsides and stuff. So you always got something to get a spark off of. This, you got to rely on a lot of movement, and well, I mean, there's a lot of movement with flint and steel also, but it's a mechanical device, but it's pretty fascinating the way it works. It's kind of like a diesel engine. A diesel engine in a truck sprays diesel through a tiny little opening, and it sprays it through it so fast that the friction from the air inside the chamber combusts the fuel. And this is pretty much the same principle. You're going to drive this piston plunger down in there so hard that it's going to ignite the air inside the bottom of the tube. And of course, when you go to do it, you're going to shut this valve so you're not pushing any air out. So you're forcing the air around the rubber gasket that I showed you. And it's going to ignite the char cloth that you stick into the bottom right here in this little area. And there's some char cloth in there right now, so maybe we'll just leave that in there and see what we can do there. But that's that. and that's what we're going to be using. Now, Jeff made this, and you can see it is very nicely done. He put it on a wood lathe and did it. Just very, very nice. It's lightweight. It doesn't take up much room, so there's a plus for it. And with the valve shut, this isn't going to fall out, and you're not going to lose the plunger piston. So yeah, pretty neat. I'm just fascinated by it. I mean, I don't know that I'll ever use it, but I may. It's a redundancy in fire starting, so hey, it's just, you know, an extra way you have to make fire. Let's see, I got some Teays jute embedded with some fat lighter or fat wood. That's probably a good little bird's nest right there. So I got some char cloth in here. We can pack the end of that plunger with that right there. Okay, let's see if we can get an ember. I have some more char cloth. I'm just going to pack that little hole with, get it in there real tight, break off any extra. Or I should just be able to scrape that out with the tip of my knife when ready. Into my bird's nest, shut the valve, and here we go. Turn that around so I don't have a bad accident there. And here we go. Well, I had an ember, but it went out. Let's try that again. Well, we have some boiling water. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to get a hold of Jeff, I'm going to tag him in the description and the tags. I'll throw up an email address for him. I think he does sell the fire pistons for around $40. They're beautifully crafted, and they seem to be pretty well made. And you get an ember, you know, from the first to the third try. It took me 3 tries to get an ember, but might have been my technique. I may not have been hitting it fast enough or hard enough. So, but it did work, and I did get a fire. So that's a plus. Like I said, I'm not a fan of fire pistons. You know, just an extra option that you can have if you run out of other options. It's always good to have options for building fires in the bush. Fire is a very important thing. Sometimes a fire can be a matter of life or death. So having another option is always good. Well, so long for now. This is John with Teays River Bushlore. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, comment. We will comment back, and we appreciate your review. Thank you very much.